A lot of people think it started here, but it actually started at Washington State University in this little small city called Pullman, Washington, where I used to teach and administer at Washington State University. And I am one of those people, I can't sit still. There was no black church in the community. You had to drive like an hour to get to a black church. There wasn't a lot to do outside of work, and most people know that I'm not a workaholic. I had to laugh about that. I had to laugh about that because it's the opposite of what I just said. But and I wanted to do something different, and so I just wrote a proposal, and it was accepted, and it went on air, and it was a major hit in the state of Washington.
How it plays itself out in sport? Well, you know, I'm very fortunate that I came from a school where I saw a lot of my black male athletes graduate on time. We had a lot of support. We had the opportunity to have our education paid for through scholarship. So that made it easier for some of us as athletes to succeed, whereas some of the other students on campus did not have those the access to resources in the way that we did.
We've done so many things. We've offered a Your Voice class through the College of Communication, through my good colleague and a big supporter of Your Voice, Dr. John Mayo, who's the Dean of the School of Communication. He was extremely supportive, and he currently serves on the advisory board for Your Voice, and he's always asking if the School of Communication can help. And so we offered a class through there, and we've had students to take class and kind of learn. Mike Dunn, who is one of the producers with WFSU TV, was very instrumental in helping students and interns work through that system, as well as Rick Petrinkas. I've always brutalized his name, and Charlie Pride,
it's easy to brutalize,
right, and Nick, and so many others.
My involvement with Your Voice is I am the floor director for the studio programs, and also the videographer for all the shoots in the field and some of the speeches that Dr. Jones has given, and so I do field production and also studio production.
The past 3 or 4 seasons, I've been the director for the program, the person who communicates with Lee in terms of dates that he wants to tape, who the guests are, and then during the actual productions, I'm the fellow back in the back who calls the shots and asks for the cameras to be taken on air and call for the mics and that sort of thing.
I think that each issue that he deals with offers a learning experience to whoever watches the show, and I have had thoughts about other opinions certainly that might differ from mine, and maybe been more open-minded to those opinions than I would have had I not watched the show. Lee has a way of drawing that out of people and exposing the issue so that people can see the truth behind all the arguments connected with any issue.
Your Voice gives people an opportunity to be heard, and it gives people an opportunity to listen. And being informed is a great thing to happen, and it's important for FSU.
Now, you're talking about how they have embraced you. There have been several community projects on Your Voice itself. Tell me about some of those.
I think, but probably the biggest community project for me that I think we've done is to provide opportunity for people to be on television who otherwise would not have been exposed.
Hello. Me.
Yeah, I mean, like you, for example. You know how this happened.
Exactly.
We were in the barbershop, right?
Yep.
And we started talking, and you know me, I just started asking me, what do you want to do with your life, and what is your career? And I want to do this, and I want to do that. If you're not on the way, then you are in the way. And see, this American dream that I was telling you about, that I believed in so emphatically, I really believed in that, and I went off and I worked real hard. And then when I realized that they were not talking about me, I said, well, wait a minute. I don't necessarily believe in this American dream because, see, this American dream is a farce for so many African Americans and Latino and Native Americans, and for many Asian Americans in America and other underrepresented groups. And see, because...
Well, I first met him in a really interesting setting. I was carrying dirty, traveled boxes into this office to sort of move in. And Lee came in on his own. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I've since learned, by the way, that he works many Saturdays and many nights. But he came in and we started a conversation before the time was over. He was helping me unpack boxes and talk about this knick-knack and this picture and the history behind it. And actually his hopes for the college as well. I mean, he didn't waste any time making some lobbies for things that he thought were important. I valued that about Lee. I valued his being here, I valued his camaraderie, and I also valued that Lee keeps his mind also on his goals and his tasks. He's always got his mind on things about the system as well.
Well, I can tell that professionally, Dr. Jones is very tough but fair. And he sets very high expectations for himself and also expects a lot from other people working for him, his staff, faculty, or students.
His students, from what I have been told by students, they really like him. They enjoy the way he teaches. He seems to have an excellent rapport with the students. And he takes time with them. I think he takes more time with the students than probably anybody else.
And see, you're going to run across energy imposters, you're going to run across energy stealers, and then there are going to be those energy stealers going to try to tell you, honest students, that you're arrogant. There are students on this campus, and campuses all across the country will tell you that, oh, you're arrogant because you're an honor student. You're arrogant because you got a 3.5, you got a 3.6, you got a 3.7. Oh, you're arrogant. You tell them that Lee Jones said on March 26, 2003, you tell them that Lee Jones said that arrogance is the overexpression of one's own importance. You tell them that Lee Jones said that I'm confident, for confidence is an understanding of one's own self-assuredness. There's a difference between arrogance and confidence. Arrogance is the overexpression of one's own importance. You tell them that I'm confident, for confidence is an understanding of one's own self-assuredness. And you tell them that Lee Jones said that, oh, by the way, what you think of me is none of my business. That's between you and your self-esteem and has nothing to do with me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me.
I've known Dr. Jones for 4 years now. When I first came here as a new faculty, Dr. Jones was one of the ones who shepherded all the new faculty in, and so he developed a relationship with the new faculty right away and really, you know, sought to mentor us and let us know that he was there and help us if we needed help from him.
From a student category of the ones that are employed in my office, I don't see him in the environment as far as the classroom, but in my office there's very high respect. As a matter of fact, I think for the young people that work in my office, Dr. Jones is definitely a motivator.
First of all, while I was finishing my master's degree at Idaho State, I never even thought or considered a PhD. I didn't know that I was actually intelligent enough to get a PhD because it just wasn't a thought process. Nobody in my family has ever gotten one. So I'm actually going to be the first one. And actually, after speaking to him, you know, he discussed the process with me a little bit and helped me get into the program and talk me through it. Helped build my confidence enough to be able to actually make that decision to leave Idaho to come all the way down here to pursue the PhD program. So he's been a major impact on my life, not just as a mentor, but also as a friend, someone who actually cares about his students, not just me, but just, you know, any of the students that he's mentored, the students in his college. He cares about and truly, genuinely cares about them, not just in their successes, but also in their failures, because I haven't succeeded about everything, but he's been supportive behind me on every decision that I've made and helped me to keep going through the process.
Dr. Jones is one of those rare individuals where the quality of commitment to excellence is really a quality of commitment to excellence. And his preparation for his classes, anything that he's doing, he's going to give it not only 100%, but 100+. And it's that preparation, it's the willingness to help out a student, it's the willingness to listen. And he's truly a colleague that listens and doesn't just hear words.
That A is going to be for your attitude, and that's going to determine your altitude, how high you're going to fly in this life. And B is going to be for your business. You must always attend to your own business and stay out of other people's business. And C is for caring. No matter how high you get, you must care. No matter how low you get, you must care. And D is going to be for the discipline. For when you have disciplined your soul, you have set the foundation for true eternal peace. And E is going to be for your energy. You must be willing to give the energy to and for everything that you do. And F is for foresight. You must be willing to give the foresight to and for your visions and G is for the gift that's within each one of you. Now you must move from gifted to greatness, and H is for hear and heed. Take time to hear and heed the call of our ancestors, and I is for institution. Take time to build within you an institution that's been able to stand the pains of life, and J is for joy. Never allow people to steal your joy, and K is for knowledge. You must always be willing to know yourself and check yourself, or you're going to wreck yourself and find yourself by yourself. And L is for leadership. You must be willing to give the leadership to and for your communities. And M is for meditation. Take time to meditate on life and the breadth and depth thereof. And N is